Fluggäste, herzlich willkommen am Frankfurter Flughafen. In wenigen Minuten kommen wir am Terminal an. Wenn Ihre Reise in Frankfurt endet, folgen Sie bitte den Hinweisschildern für das Gepäck.
Welcome to Germany. For me, there's nothing more German than the humble pretzel. I suppose there's that blonde-haired, blue-eyed Fräulein in lederhosen with jugs of beer. The pretzel for me is like a tradition. The minute I land in Germany, it's the first thing I do. So I'm here, Frankfurt. The plan for today is to take a couple of regional trains and a bus. I'm heading 60 k's out of Frankfurt into the suburbs to a little place called Gründau. Well, what on earth am I doing there? Well, that's where I've got to pick up my home. Yeah, this is the one thing I absolutely love about coming to Europe is the train network. It's incredible, and just how you're able to access countries, cities, towns. So easy to get around as a tourist too, and affordable. Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah. I'm just thinking, imagine if we had our rail system back again, hopping on a train from Joburg to Durban or to Cape Town. That would be so cool. Not gonna happen, is it? You know, the Germans are always meant to be on time. Well, my train arrived like 5 minutes late. So that means I missed the bus. Literally as I came across the station, I saw the bus pushing off. Now, I've got no idea how to check the bus schedule. I've got to be on bus 67 to get to where I need to get to. So, not too sure how that's going to play out. Quaint little spot though. No one speaks English. I tried asking in the pub behind me, and all she could tell me, closed, closed, closed. And something that is really disturbing. I had 2 dogs bark at me. I mean, what the hell? And there she is, meet Flipper, my home for the next 7 days here in Germany. With my accommodation and transport sorted, it was time to stock up before finally getting on the road. So cool with the motorhome, doing a bit of a shop. I think I've gone to town though. What do you reckon? It's just me on my own for 1 week. Right, so we went to Penny's, which is like a German convenience store, I guess, like our Spars. There was a quick €100. That's what's that, just over 2,000 Rand. Not too different to what we're paying back home in SA. How flippin' cool is this? First time I've ever done the motorhome thing, and it's so cool. I mean, just to see how far it is, we do the very South African thing, you know, 4x4 car that's geared up, overlanding trailer, and you go in Budapest. But in Europe, the motorhome thing is massive, and there are so many places you can rent motorhomes from. And I actually did it through what is essentially an app like an Airbnb. So this is privately owned by me. The big question that I haven't answered: where am I going? What am I doing? Why have I got a motorhome? Why am I in Germany? There is one event that has been on my motoring bucket list for a very, very long time. And a few years ago, I actually got to drive the circuit myself. After playing it on Gran Turismo lap after lap after lap, and nothing can prepare you for the world that is the green hell. So this weekend, I am going to the Nurburgring 24hr. How flippin' amazing. So excited. Going to be obviously supporting the local boys, Kelvin, Jordan, and obviously doing some stuff with Volkswagen, because it's 50 years of GTI, and they're obviously celebrating that in a very big way. And Johan Christofferson and the race engineer Phil Barrett, who we spent a lot of time with at Samola Hill Climb, they're racing along with Benny Loiter, who you may remember. Benny was in South Africa to try out our super cool Polo, locally made, that we're now exporting for racing in Germany. So he's racing in the Max Cruz team that did really well last year, and Johan's racing with him in that team. So I thought, how cool to go and hang out with the boys, offer some support. And old Quibus, Prof, who looks after VW Motorsport stuff from an engineering perspective, is actually helping Phil and the team out as well. So what a cool adventure. So really looking forward to it. I've got a 2-hour drive up ahead of me now to get to the Neuschleife. You're probably wondering, it's Monday, why are you going so early? That's just the reality of it. There's no accommodation out there, because it is in the middle of nowhere, and most of the little guest houses and pensions and those sort of places are booked up in advance. Teams go next 5 years, put our names down. So most people will go there and do the camping thing. So really looking forward to just the whole experience. I think is nuts. So I'll be hanging out there for a week. Obviously the race is on Saturday. Motorhome is not for the solo traveller. It's much the same when you go camping too. And it's not just about the company, it's actually about the bloody setup. What a flippin' mission. Because you're on your own, and this camp spot is not level in any flippin' way. So I'm trying to work out, got the little app, getting the bubble right, trying to see what is the best of a bad situation. I get it parked, I'm happy, amazing. I pull out the power cable and it's too short. So connect the power cable, measure it out, sit it there, reposition the vehicle, get the wheel stocks in place. It's just, yeah, it'd be great if there's someone saying, stop, no, go back. Anyway, it's all part of the fun. Yeah, so look, I mean, it's not the greatest campsite. It's got no bloody view, and the bit that annoys me the most, how am I going to sleep here? Because you know how noisy it's going to be with these oaks. It's just absolutely flipping crazy. That's the Nürburgring, babies. We are here. Can't believe it. What a spot. So for 24 hours during that race, if I do try and go to bed, I'm going to just hear the howl and the scream of GT3 cars, pro drivers. We didn't come here to sleep, did we? Came here for an all-nighter. Morning. Oh, slept nicely, eh? I needed that. Yeah, bed's comfy. So the plan, make breakfast, and then today's kind of explore, get a feel for the lie of the land, you know. Most of the guys start arriving tomorrow, so yeah, it's gonna be a good day. I wasn't meant to be sitting on my arse all day, but I had lots of editing to do just to see how far it is to get the new episode out. So because it's summer, sun sets late, it's actually 8 o'clock now. Look at the sunlight. So I'm actually cycling around the outside of the Grand Prix circuit, just so I can get a feel for the land and the viewing points. And yeah, I mean, obviously I've got track access and media accreditation, so we can go trackside and film. But yeah, with a track that's 24 kilometers, it's about trying to find some cool spots. You can hear a few of the people that are camping here have already started the parties, like 3 days early. But I can just imagine what this little bar is going to be like, because the track is just across the way over here. So it's like really the calm before the storm. It's going to be mad. I promise you I'll be back here. I'll do the exact same video on race day and we'll see the difference. Oh Oh my gosh, sometimes you just got to pinch yourself, eh? It's a lucky thing about being here early. We've obviously got our pit pass, and never thought I'd be cycling on the main straight. It is the calm before the storm. You can see a lot of the hospitality areas are still being built. The teams are setting up their garages, but basically from tomorrow it's all race faces. All the drivers will be the teams will be doing final preps because qualifying starts with the first session on Thursday. There's also a night session, and then Friday the final qualifying, and then obviously Saturday is race day. So it's quiet. Not going to be like that much longer, is it? How cool. So you know, if you're looking for a fight, kind of go to Boksburg and have brandy. Well, in motor racing terms, if you're looking for drama and incidents, there's one corner that is guaranteed to be Boksburg on brandy, and that's that corner there, turn 1. You don't realize just how tight that little space is. Obviously a hectic little drop off over there, and then this over here, yeah, it's like the ultimate pincer maneuver. So to imagine all of these cars from maximum speed down that straight to the heaviest braking point on the circuit, diving for position through here, it's drama for sure. It's nuts, man. Europe in summer. It's 10 o'clock. I've just got back from cycling on the track, which was just like such an incredible experience. Now I'm doing supper quickly. We're just going to throw together a little pasta. So yeah, we've chopped up some like mushrooms, plenty of garlic, some marrow and peppers. When I was being shown the motorhome, they said to me, oh, and in the cupboard there's spices for cooking. Bad German accent. I never really checked, so I went to the shopping. I thought, I'm not going to go get spices. I mean, it's a mission when you're here for a week. What do you do with the stuff? Anyway, I got you nothing. No olive oil, just sunlight oil. So the spec is crucial because that's going to add all the bloody flavour. No salt, no pepper. Oh. What I did do is I did buy a little arrabbiata sauce. Not much heat in that, but anyway. Spot the South African in Germany. Now I would be loving a little brandy and coke right now, but you know, I don't know, the fridge ain't working so well. I think it needs to be regassed. So everything in there is kind of a little bit cooler than room temperature. So my beers are, yeah, lukewarm. The freezer isn't working, so I've got no ice. So to have room temperature brandy with room temperature coke and washing down a pasta with no salt, no pepper, no parmigiano cheese, like, that would be bad, like really bad. I'd rather be sober. Oh. Just joking, I'm not having a wee. So hopefully I don't have to do this again. I tell you, you start appreciating the value of water when you're collecting it like this. Now I'm a little bit out of breath because we've got a 100-litre tank, and the guys I rented from don't fill it up before collection because it just obviously makes it easier when you're driving it. You're not dragging this 100 kg weight around with you. And obviously they geared up for normal campsites. They've got a hose, you connect it to mains and you fill it up. But this isn't a campsite traditionally, it's normally a parking area. So they've got a tap up at the top. So I've got my little, people think I'm watering plants. And that's how we're filling up the tank. So I can wash dishes and have a shower and all that type of stuff. Obviously there's a filling area outside, which is where you would do it quickly with a hose pipe. It's all part of the fun of motorhome living. Oh, that's cool. It's another beautiful day here. So once this is done, I'm going to change my shirt because I know I've been wearing the same shirt for a day or two. And we're heading down to get our accreditation done. Morgen! Seriously, is anything prettier in European countryside in summer? It is just beautiful. But you know what this place is like too. Beautiful one moment and apocalyptic the next. But the forecast is good for the weekend, so that's happy days for full racing. Last year was a nightmare, if you remember, with the mist. They actually hardly did any racing at all. So yeah, this is beautiful. Let's enjoy it while we can. when I was here a few years ago with the guys from Goodyear, and it was such an amazing experience because we came to tell a story on Goodyear and how tires are made. At their base in Luxembourg, we went to Miraval as well, and JJ Werroth, who was the boss of Goodyear in South Africa at the time, he arranged a trip and he said to me, you've never driven the Nürburgring? I'm like, no, never. He said, we're going to do it. So I was so amped and excited coming here because I thought he's going to organize a car, it's going to be red hot. And he did organize a car. It was a rental from Hertz, station wagon, Audi, 3-litre TDI, hardly a car you'd imagine would be great for the Nürburgring, but geez, like what an experience. That car actually hauled ass. But this is kind of where everyone leaves from here. So you get your little access card, you pay for a lap, tap it, and off you go from here. So you exit straight onto the Dottingerhöhe, which is the long back straight, and then that links you obviously straight through into the main ring. Great memories, eh? So nice to be back. Loving it. So a lot of my mates are big into cycling, and come to think about it, they're also the same guys that sit when they wee and are vegans. Strange. Anyway, so I've resisted the whole let's go cycling thing, but I am willing to make an exception. So today I got on a bicycle and it was fully worth it because I got this. With my media accreditation sorted, it was time to meet up with Prof and Phil and the Max Cruiser team as they got their final preparations out of the way. With media interviews and official team photographs to get done, spirits were high. But you could really sense the anticipation and excitement. The atmosphere had definitely ramped up in the paddock. Tomorrow, the fight for Nurburgring 24-hour glory would start with the first qualifying sessions. So, was this serious? Hey, Jack, you've got a helmet with the name on?
Yeah, I've got it.
No, let's not ruin the interview. But how flippin' amazing to be at.
Yeah, no, I must tell you, this is crazy. Being in motorsport and being around race cars and pit setups, which I'm used to. So walking in here, you see everything's familiar. You see brakes, you see people, you see equipment, you see data. But yes, the intensity here is, the amount of people here is crazy.
You don't have much time to be a tourist because you're actually working here. Obviously, Phil Barrett, we've got to know the last 3 years with Smola Hill Climb. Brought you over to do what?
Okay, yeah, so they ran the golf here last year, and then he realized that he needed support this year with running 2 golfs. So I'm here to support Phil on sensor calibration and data. I think it will become tough after a few hours into the stints, into the night, that we will then look after each other, while he's resting a bit, I can look at data and so forth. They squeeze 5 cars into pits, which means you have to share pits with other teams. Luckily for Max Cruise Racing, they've got 5 cars they run, so they're all in one pit, which makes the whole setup much easier. But yes, it's crazy inside the pits. There's equipment everywhere, there's tools everywhere, there's things happening all the time. I've done a 9-hour before in South Africa, and that was crazy enough. So for 24 hours, it's going to be tough, because obviously people don't realize it starts in the morning and it ends late the next day packing up. So it becomes a 34-hour type of day. So yeah.
But lucky to be here.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to be here.
And just a few pit boxes away, we ran into another South African plying their skills in Europe. How long have you been in Germany now?
I've been here for 3 years. I got here on the 1st of May 2022, and my first event was Nürburgring, so this is my 3rd one. For this event, I'm here as a support engineer for our 2 cars, our European car as well as the American car with Robert Wickens. So my job is to make sure that the car is running smoothly throughout the race, analyze all the data that comes through live from the car, as well as spare parts. If there's anything they need from us as the Hyundai Motorsport division, we have our spare parts truck here, which I manage. So basically we have three specs of the car. You have the sprint version, which is running the World Tour. It's basically the same car. The only real difference is the ABS, as well as the lighting system for the 24-hour needs to be a little bit better. Otherwise than that, it's exactly the same.
For you guys, quite a cool story to have Robert Wickens in a car racing.
He races this car in the IMSA series in America. So they just brought the same system that they developed for him there. So it's all developed by Brian Herter and Bosch together.
I started racing when I was 7 years old, and at 7 until 29, I was racing with my feet and perfecting the art of balancing the car with the throttle and brake pedal with my feet. Now obviously I'm trying to do all of that with my hands. So these are the hand controls that I use. This big ring on the backside here that goes all the way around the steering wheel, that's my brake. This down here is my throttle paddle. Just pull it in for full throttle. I have access to that on both sides of the steering wheel. We have upshift on the right, downshift on the left.
The only thing slightly different, the handbrake is now the clutch pedal. For the drivers, they get on, it's one switch and they flick between hand control and normal feet pedals. I did the Le Mans last year and it was the most amazing experience in terms of if you look at all the other things that are happening. You know, it's not just about motor racing, it's about the show. Yeah, the people are crazy about motor racing. They come with their campers, they park all the way around the Neuschleife. Try and get around, make sure that you see a lot of the outside circuit because there's a lot to see. Try and do the grid walk because that's most incredible, the amount of people on the grid. I tried last year to get down to Sheldon and Kelvin to say good luck, and it took me the best part of 40 minutes to get from the top to the bottom of the grid, so that's quite crazy to experience.
Oh yes, the Nürburgring paddock had most definitely come alive. Thursday is a manic day. It's finally time for the teams and the drivers to get down to business with the running of the first qualifying sessions, and with weather predictions for the race being dry and hot, track time during this first day session would provide invaluable data for the teams. It also gave me an opportunity to catch up with a South African driver who's risen to international superstar status in the world of GT3 and endurance racing.
I think this is my 4th year in a Lambo and I've done another 2, so it's my sixth year. I've done 1 in Bentley, 1 in the BMW, and my 4th in a Lamborghini.
This is a proper anorak question. Do you know how many laps you've done around the ring?
I think I'm still far away from 1,000 because obviously you don't do so many laps here. Probably 300, I would say, 200-300. Yeah, the debate's always about what 24 hours the hardest, and it's how you want to rank it, you know. Like when we come to Nürburgring, its demand is the green hull nature, the weather, the demanding racetrack, the high speed narrow track with 140 cars, but not just 140 of the same cars. It's 140, like you say, from a Dacia Logan to a Renault Clio to a Golf. Anything with a roll cage and a set of slicks can go racing. It's probably the race where there's the least amount of pros involved here. It's a lot of guys with the passion to complete this race, the goal just to get to the finish, but we have the goal to fight for obviously the overall victory, where every second's mattering right now. So it's intense, it's more of a sprint race than ever. We're searching for half a second a lap on a 25 kilometer lap, and looking at stint averages down to the 10th when you've got an 8-minute lap. So it's intense, it's insane what we do here, but it's also, that's what makes this place special.
This is Jordan Pepper, absolutely. I think there's Aaron trying to pass team, and he got it. Quite get it. Very clever from Pepper there to sort of see that. I think Aaron sort of went a bit wide.
Still there.
Oh, that's a push.
And then on the inside line, Jordan Pepper's Lamborghini did eventually get through the 27 Red Bull apt car.
I think that's the 13th year now that I've been racing overseas, and I only raced in my whole life in South Africa for 13 years or 12 years, from go-karting through.
I'm Jordan Pepper, I'm 14 years old and I come from South Africa, Joburg. Racing in South Africa, the drivers are really good, but to be noticed, you got to come to Europe if you want to make a professional career out of it.
So what's crazy to think is just that boy's dream that I had when I was a young kid, sitting on the couch with my dad watching racing, watching, at that time DTM was always a dream. something we never thought was possible, but it took a lot longer than I would have hoped. I think timing and the way everything's panned out in my career, I'm very proud. I mean, it's a dream that I carried with my family, one that we still appreciate so much. And I've been through ups and downs. I've had moments where I thought my career was over, and that's the sport we live in. And if I can every day wake up and be a 1/10 of a percent better and keep pushing, I know that I'm going to make great things in this world of motorsports and continue to build let's say a legacy and carry the South African flag and do the 12-year-old boy with a dream proud, and obviously my family and friends as well.
Next time on Just to See How Fast It Is, we catch up with another South African global superstar chasing his 3rd victory at this iconic race.
Most times the race is only decided when the sun comes up the next morning. We always have a rule, kind of like, you survive until 11 a.m, then it's race on.
Take an exclusive first look at Volkswagen's Golf GTI Edition 50. We get properly caught up in the gears of the event. Before we finally go racing at the Green Hell.